Today's video is called How Do Drugs Affect Our Soul? What is the energetic effect of recreational drugs on our physical body and the soul? The first thing to realize is that there's much more to us than meets the eye. The human form is the most complicated incarnate vehicle in the whole universe. It is made of some parts we can see and other parts we can't see, even with medical devices like X-rays, CT and MRI scans that only show the gross physical body or the solid parts of us. We live in a sea of energy that is all around us and within us. This universe has 12 different frequency levels that hold these energies in various forms. The human form is special in that it's designed to work with 10 of those levels, not just the bottom 3 that create our physical body. How does the soul get into the body? Here is a side view of the human form. The soul comes down the hara line, but before it can enter the body, the soul's higher energies have to be stepped down a few notches. We have 3 funnels above the head that lower the energies from frequency level 10 to 9 to 8. Then we have 7 more chakras or energy centers inside the body that step down the energies from level 7 at the crown to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at the root chakra. Each chakra pulls in a specific frequency from the sea of energy we're in. The energies get blended to nourish us in addition to the food and water we take in. So we exist on 3 planes: at the dense physical plane at levels 1 to 3, the semi-physical astral plane at levels 4 to 7, and the purely energetic plane at levels 8 to 10. That makes us very unique in this universe. We're like a walking vortex. To sum it up, the soul sits in the spiritual heart, surrounded by 7 energetic templates or subtle bodies that envelop the physical body. We also have 7 auric layers or protective biofields irradiated by the chakras. That's what our soul needs at these low frequencies. It's like wearing 7 biosuits and 7 balloons for protection. So what happens when we take drugs? All drugs are essentially poisons, whether they're synthetic or natural, or even sacred plant medicines like ayahuasca. They are all toxic to the body and the soul. Why? Because they block the natural flow of energies in the body. That creates disharmony and lowers the frequency of the physical body so much that it becomes shocking or abhorrent to the soul. The soul has to get out of the body. How? The soul ejects itself out of body and lands in the energy layers above the physical body. The problem is that damages the auric layers. They become dull and dingy with holes, tears, and dirt. The soul's protection is shot, especially after chronic drug abuse, as shown on the right. That makes the person vulnerable to attachment by astral entities and thought forms that suck energy from the person to sustain themselves. It takes 3 days to repair the auric layers after just 1 dose of drugs. The soul can't come back in to take charge of the body until the effects of the drugs and alcohol wear off. What happens when the soul ejects out of the body? If the soul goes to the lower levels, we may meet some astral entities that search our memories for things we are frightened of. These sneaky entities create a scary or a demonic image based on whatever scares us. That's why everybody's experience is a bit different. You may see snakes, ghosts, or whatever scares you after watching the latest thriller. People that take higher doses of drugs create even more toxicity in the body, so the soul has to go even higher to get away. Some people have a psychedelic experience with heavenly or timeless landscapes. Because the entities here are invisible to us, they don't need to scare us with images. They can just ignore us. Over time, some people develop tolerance to the drugs, so they need to take even higher doses or a combination of drugs to try to recreate the transcendent experience or the memory of one. Some may die from a drug overdose while seeking a higher high. It can easily become an attachment or an addiction that leads to a downward spiral in life. What determines if it's a good trip or a bad trip? That depends on how far out of the body the soul jumps. If the soul goes to the lower astral or 4th and 5th levels, that's called a bad trip because the astral entities want to frighten us. If the soul goes to the upper astral or 6th and 7th levels, it's a good trip with nicer landscapes and more benevolent entities. You can see that taking mind-altering drugs is a mechanical way to get high. by ejecting the soul to a higher level. You're not really in charge. The drugs are. They may give you a transient glimpse at the energetic realms, but they don't really serve you in the long run. Why? Because they cause physical or psychological dependence. They can become a habit, a crutch, a distraction, or a trap that interferes with your life plan. That stops your soul from evolving here. We need to be grounded and present to be with the people, the circumstances, and the environment we're supposed to interact with. That's why we were sent here. So why do people take drugs then? Well, it can give us a glimpse at expanded consciousness, so we realize there's more to us than what we can see. But with drugs, we don't really own the experience. It's not a shortcut to enlightenment because it doesn't last. The other reason is that many souls come here to experience something difficult, like an addiction, so they can experience it and then choose to move away from it. When the soul is able to overcome something difficult in life, it makes their higher self evolve faster. What's the best way to progress here? The natural way forwards is meditation. When 3 to 4-year-old kids are taught to meditate, their third eye stays open, so they don't become head blind like most people are. But we can start meditating at any age. There are many types of meditation techniques, all of which are helpful in our stressful lives. Meditation starts with relaxation techniques and goes deeper with practice. We go beyond identifying with ourselves all the time. We can meditate while sitting or lying down, walking or listening to music, praying or contemplating. We can do it on our own or in groups. When we do a group meditation, the energies are amplified exponentially based on the number of people present. Imagine the power of this group meditation for peace and goodwill on our planet. It's easier to connect to higher frequencies in a group, and you can do it whether you're physically present or not. The event space is always there for you to join it energetically. When we learn to communicate with our higher self, which is outside of the physical universe, while we're still here in human form, we're self-realized. We have Christ consciousness. When we can contact our source at will, we're God-realized, and we have cosmic consciousness. That's the goal here, not just drug-induced astral trips at the bottom of this universe. We can do a lot better. Since we have a natural, built-in energy system in our bodies, we can learn to project our consciousness or sentience to any level in this multiverse. To get started, one of the easiest things to do is a chakra opening exercise described below. It lifts your frequencies higher and keeps you there longer than any drugs will because you're in charge. It's a free, perfectly safe, and repeatable way to get a sense of oneness. As Itzhak Bentov said, there's no limit to the extent of human consciousness. It can expand to fill the universe, and then you have a diplomatic visa to infinity. For more information, please go to my website at bigpicturequestions.com or read my books, which have a lot more information about who we are and what happens to us in the astral levels during the dying process and in the afterlife.